All right, welcome class to week 5 of your 7305 Foundations class. This is your professor, Dr. Jace Austin. And we are going to try to keep this one under 15 minutes if at all possible. I think we can do it. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, I do want to say that we are now to the point where you should have turned in your literature review and your bibliography. However, as I said in an announcement last week, the literature review now has a soft deadline. The soft deadline was Sunday night, so that was June the 30th. And I am not going to deduct any points as long as you get the assignment to me by the end of the day on July the 4th, Independence Day. But I was looking through the grade book, and it looks like most of you have actually already turned it in. So kudos to you for that. So if you have already turned it in, then don't worry. If you turn it in by Thursday night, don't worry. And if you turn it in after Thursday night, you may have some cause to worry. Now, the next few assignments, just looking at those really quickly. The history timeline, I want you all to actually have a little bit of fun with that. And I still need to get a sample. I'm going to get a sample assignment actually in for number 5. If you have not looked at that assignment prompt, then when you do, you will probably have a heart attack. Assignment 5, it was created by, it was an effort between, well, let's just say it was kind of a department-wide effort to several people within the department came together to put that assignment together. And you know, I think that the assignment as posed can be kind of confusing. So I want to give an example of that assignment. So there will be a sample paper for assignment number 5 coming soon. And then assignment number 6 is also supposed to be a bit of a fun assignment that you don't spend a whole lot of time on. Now, assignment 4 is the one that is due next, is due on the 14th. And so I did just want to, you'll see the instructions. But in addition to the instructions, what I wanted to do was, usually I don't include samples because then people, when they see examples or sample assignments, they kind of use them as a template, and I don't want to limit people's creativity here. However, the reason why we are including some examples here is because there are multiple ways to do this, and you will see multiple ways of doing things in the timeline examples here. So you can do something similar to something you see here, or you can do something totally out of the box. And I always encourage things that are totally out of the box, because in the library field and in library practice, you will have to be out of the box plenty of times in order to get through certain programs or to get through certain queries that you are posed and things of that nature. So look at these timeline examples, but you can also look at timeline examples online. If you have some ideas and you want to just run your idea by me first to see if it is actually okay, you are more than welcome to do that. I definitely welcome you to contact me and ask me if your idea is a solid one. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, again, I want to keep this to 15 minutes or less. What I did want to do was just say a few things just about the one of the themes in this week's course material is digital media. And digital media for libraries, I think, has, what exactly do I want to say? I think that it has the opportunity to be very useful to patrons, but I think that a lot of patrons aren't aware of it. And for instance, for instance, streaming video and streaming movies as digital media, we offer things for free for our patrons, and that digital media could potentially be a game changer for many, especially for many low-income people. But I think that there are other things that people are doing that catches their eye a little bit more readily. So, for instance, I've got a Roku app on my TV, and it would be great if I don't even know if Overdrive is functional with Roku, but if it is, then great. But if it isn't, then, there are plenty of other options that are free that you can use through your Roku app. Through your Roku TV if you have one, like, we've got Crackle and Tubi and Pluto. And so those are things that provide digital media for free and are not tied to libraries. And they make their revenue through advertising, and not through subscription fees. Whereas, let's say, Hulu these days, at least the paid Hulu, whatever it's called, Hulu Plus, Spectrum, these different types of guys, they actually do have subscription fees that kind of fund their operations. So having said that, I just wish that there was a better way to market what we offer in libraries. And I am going to go to so this is Go Digital, the Go Digital page for Mid-Continent Public Library, which serves several counties in the western part of Missouri. And so these are some options that you have: Overdrive digital downloads. If you want ebooks, you can go to Overdrive. You can do RB Digital, BiblioBoard. And there are some other resources for ebooks, audiobooks. Again, Overdrive is a huge one. RB Digital again, and then Freegal, which is also very useful for music. Has some audiobook listings. E-magazines, Flipster, RB Digital again, Press Reader, and then movies and music. These were what I really just kind of wanted to talk about really quick. Access to videos on demand, films on demand. That's a way I know that there are a lot of documentaries that you can get through that service. You've got Overdrive again. I'm not familiar with Medici TV, but classical performances and documentaries. So again, you've got documentaries there. Films on demand, educational, but Overdrive can be entertainment. And again, music. I want to say Overdrive has a little bit of music, but I guess I'm not completely sure. But Freegal, definitely music. And then we've got these other things going on here: contemporary world music and American music. So your listing of digital resource offerings will vary depending on what library you're working with. But Freegal and Overdrive and Films on Demand are definitely some of your major players. Now, I'm just going to go in really quick to say that there's some pretty neat stuff. This is Overdrive here. Let's get back. Okay, and I've heard that Libby was being launched. I heard about that at the Missouri Library Association conference. But we can come over here, we can come to collections, and for instance, if you have people who are looking for movies, they can find those under videos, and there's some decent stuff. All videos, most popular for Mid-Continent Public. And there are ways in order to, like, let's say you have a patron that is interested in finding a comedy to watch for the night. They could go to All Videos and then go to See All. And then they could scroll down. Streaming video is going to be our only option here. But you could go down to subject, and then let's say, yeah, if they wanted to go to comedy, could pick comedy. You have 207 offerings here. And you would be brought to this listing of comedy videos. And these can be digitally checked out. Short Circuit, I'm dating myself, but I remember, I kind of remember Johnny Five from when I was a really, really little boy. So I know that's actually probably before a lot of your time. But, you know, you can click something if you're interested. And then, and by the way, if you are young enough to where you haven't heard of Short Circuit, if you want a conceptualization of what people thought that robotics would be like in the 80s, there you go. You can find that with Short Circuit. Johnny Five, he was pretty cool. But again, I was a really, really little boy when that came out, and I don't think I actually remember the actual release, but I remember in hindsight it being a very popular movie throughout the very late 80s, and I think I saw it for the first time probably in the late 80s when I was like 5. Okay, but anyway, you can click borrow, and now you've borrowed it, and you can watch it in your browser. And it'll automatically check back in. Okay. So in this way, the libraries can still collect their stats on what's being checked out or what's not being checked out and that sort of thing. I did want to also just look at Freegal real quick, and I was actually just already in Freegal, so I probably need to get back to the home page. But you know, this is Freegal right here, and you got things. You know, you can look for albums. You have a limited amount of downloads you can use, but your streaming is going to be unlimited. And you can find albums here. Look for new arrivals, whatever's coming through there. I haven't really found the top-notch stuff on. I haven't found that on Freegal, but you know, you can still pop up on this, and I'm into R&B and hip hop and country. Those are my big things. And you can go into R&B, browsing genres, and then let's say you wanted to find the albums. You could actually go here and top R&B albums, and then you can click view all, and you can see what pops up. The Essential Luther. So there's some good stuff in here. It's just you gotta be able to find it and everything. Now, I don't think you have an option to download a whole album, unfortunately, because that's what I think a lot of patrons would really like to do. I think you download songs individually. But again, you can stream this and you have unlimited streaming. So, you know, for our patrons who are possibly down and out economically, you know, these streaming digital medias, these are things that they can potentially use if they have, especially if they have internet access at home, to, you know, just have another resource. If you can't afford cable and you can't afford Hulu, but you've got some free apps and that sort of thing, here are some more free applications that you can use, and you don't have to come into the library to access them. A librarian can teach you how to do it, and then from there on, it's just a matter of being at home and doing it, so long as you have that internet access. So I am going to leave it there. As I always say, if you have questions, please email me. I am an email away. Sometimes it does take me 48 to 72 hours to respond, but I will get back to you. And having said that, enjoy your Independence Day. I am out.